LOVI POE, carving her own name in a shadowed legacy. In an industry where surnames can either be a ticket to the spotlight or a weight too heavy to carry, LOVI POE chose the harder path, earning respect not because of her famous last name, but despite it. Born into the long shadow of the late king of Philippine movies, Fernando Poe Jr., LOVI's story isn't just about legacy. It's about stepping out of it. If you like these types of grind story, please like, share, and subscribe for more. It's about choosing individuality, courage, and purpose over comfort, entitlement, or predefined identity. LOVI POE didn't grow up basking in the glitter of her father's fame. She knew who he was, but she didn't get to experience him as many did, as a father. For years, she lived with the reality that her presence in his life was a quiet one, away from the public eye. That truth could have broken her spirit. It could have left her angry, confused, or withdrawn. But instead, it made her stronger. It pushed her to find herself outside the expectations placed on her name. She entered showbiz in 2006, not with fanfare or privilege, but with grit. There were whispers, comparisons, and assumptions. But there was also a young woman determined to make her own mark. When the world expected her to ride on the name Poe, LOVI built a reputation on something far more powerful, her own talent. Early on, she took on roles that weren't just safe or commercial. They were bold, complex, and emotionally demanding. From dramas that dealt with mental health, infidelity, and social class to indie films that exposed truths society was too polite to talk about, LOVI delivered performances that left critics and audiences stunned. She wasn't just another pretty face. She was an artist with something to say. What set LOVI apart was her authenticity. She didn't try to emulate anyone, not even her iconic father. She spoke with her own voice, moved at her own pace, and embraced roles that mirrored the silent battles many women face. She gave emotion without overacting, intensity without loudness, and vulnerability without apology. But beyond the screen, LOVI's life was also a testament to quiet perseverance. Fame didn't shield her from pain. She dealt with heartbreaks, rumors, and the internal war of self-worth. She had moments where she doubted her place, her choices, her direction. But every single time, she stood back up, wiser, softer, stronger. In interviews, LOVI never pretended to have it all figured out. She spoke about her insecurities, her longing to be accepted, her complicated relationship with identity. And in doing so, she became relatable. She wasn't trying to be perfect, she was just trying to be real. One of the most beautiful things about LOVI's journey is how she turned her pain into power. She never disrespected her roots. In fact, she honored her father by becoming the kind of woman he would have been proud of, not because she mimicked his success, but because she found her own. She turned her father's absence into fuel to become present for herself. And when she finally took his last name, publicly embracing her identity as Poe, it wasn't out of obligation. It was out of acceptance. She had grown into it. She wasn't a shadow anymore. She was a light of her own. She expanded beyond acting, venturing into music, producing, and even international work. She moved to Los Angeles, took acting classes, and auditioned like everyone else. No special treatment, no shortcuts, just hard work, discipline, and humility. LOVI wasn't trying to be a star abroad. She was trying to evolve as an artist. That kind of bravery is rare. And through all this, LOVI remained grounded. Elegant, yes. Glamorous, of course. But also deeply human. She used her platform not to flex, but to express. She became an advocate for self-love, for mental health awareness, and for women empowerment. She reminded girls that beauty is more than appearance, it's a mindset. A decision to be kind, even when it's easier to be cold. A decision to be honest, even when the world rewards pretending. Now in her 30s, LOVI POE is not just an actress. She's a storyteller, a truth-bearer, and a survivor of silent wars many will never know. She is proof that your last name can open doors, but your integrity is what keeps them open. So here's a thought I leave with you. Are you willing to take the long road to your dreams, even when everyone expects you to take the shortcut? Are you brave enough to define success on your own terms, even when the world has already written your story for you? LOVI POE didn't just rise. She earned every inch of her success. She didn't let pain define her, she let it refine her. And that's a lesson worth remembering. Let me ask you, what part of LOVI POE's story do you see in yourself? Have you ever chosen the harder path just to stay true to who you are? I'd love to hear your story, because just like LOVI, your quiet strength could be the spark someone else needs to keep going.